But we were speaking to life coach Jennifer Corren earlier and asking, how do you break a bad habit,
I suppose there's no simple way of breaking a habit. I'll say that first. It's hard work, but it's definitely doable and people do it every day. So, it's definitely achievable if you take the right steps and you're committed to actually changing the habit. But I suppose if you want to break it down into steps, I would say the first step would be to drop the bad part of the bad habit. As in, when you're calling it a bad habit, you're reinforcing it in a way and you're building a whole story around, why it's bad or why you shouldn't be doing it and how, you wish you could change it. And the more you build a story around it, the more it actually anchors it and keeps it in place. Mm-hmm. So drop the bad and just call it a habit because that's all it is. It's just another habit. The next step would be to check yourself. Is this actually a habit that you need to change or is it actually your own particular operating style? Say you've got an essay due. You've got two students, both got essays due. One is someone who does a little bit of work every day on it until it's due and then hands it in. And the other person might leave it to the last minute and then rush and get it all done and then get it in. And, I would say that they're just two different operating styles. It's not necessarily one bad and one good. It's just a different way that people are motivated. And sometimes you just need to accept that that's the way you are. But if it is getting you negative results, like you're getting bad grades and you're not getting things in on time and it's actually causing you problems, and that's when you may need to look at it a bit deeply and change the habit.
So what's the first thing you have to do when you determine that it is bad for you and you want to change?
Well, that's where I'd go to step 3, which is what's my why? So I would take a look at why the habit is in place and just simply write a list and ask yourself, how is this habit serving you? If we could chuck a step 4 in there, it would be clarity. So just clarify what you'd like your replacement habit to be and just ask yourself, what does that new habit look like? And what would you be doing differently? And get really specific about that and just write it down. Mm-hmm. And then from there you could look at step 5, which would be, what will I gain? This is really, I think, a really good tool for people to stay focused on gain. So just, again, write a list, make it a gain list, and write down everything you will gain from changing your habit. Because there's no good just saying, this habit is not working for me and I want to give it up, because then you've got this void. And if you don't replace it with something positive and something that's going to take you towards the life you want to lead, then you'll just go back to your old habit because you've got to put something in its place. So you're so right. You need to replace it with something.
What's the best way to cement a good habit? For example, if I'm studying for exam and I want to start studying earlier and things like that, how do I cement these habits?
Well, I would definitely start with the gain list. Like I was just saying, I'd write that gain list out. What am I going to get from studying earlier, from sticking to a schedule? What will that give me? And what does that look like? And then I would read that daily, and I would even put it up somewhere where you can see it, just to reinforce why you're changing your habit and why it's worth sticking to. And I would say also step 6 is to step to it, which is basically just take that first baby step. So ask yourself, once you've got that gain list, what is the first baby step I could take to implement my new habit? And then do it. I mean, there is power in action. There's no denying that.
Oh, big thanks to life coach Jennifer Corren. Usually pay lots of money to get this kind of advice. Yeah. Well, that's something for you guys to think about when you're studying for the exams or next time you take an exam and want to study earlier. Here is Beast with Good Luck. So what do you say on SBS Pop Asia?